Hi friends, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell to get Friday weekly videos from us. And we also post an occasional Tuesday or Wednesday video. Wanted to show you how we handle large square bales. Most of the hay that comes in here on the farm comes in the form of large square bales, and large square bales is very hard to scatter out onto the soil, and we know feeding hay out in pasture fields is probably the best thing that we can do for our fields. The large square bales have created a little bit of a challenge for us. When they first came to the farm, I really didn't care for the large square bales, and I guess it was just more of a learning curve than anything, learning how to use them or how to handle them. But I built this large bale mover, and it actually will scatter the bales out onto the ground. We've been using this for about 2 years now. We don't feed much hay anymore, but what little hay we do feed, we try to scatter it if possible, and this is how we get it out onto the soil. It's a large cart. It has a couple different ways it can be used. We can use it as being a self-loader. This bed tips. The bed tips, and we can take our winch. There's a winch up there. That's how we move. There's 40 feet of cable on there, and we can reach out. We put this hook on the end of the winch line, and we can hook onto a bale and drag it right up on. I usually end up moving the bales around with a skid steer. We'll load one on here in a minute. It's about as easy, but if you don't have the option of having a skid steer and you have a stack of large square bales out there and you don't know how else to load them, there's a self-loading option that I built for this. It has a 3,000 pound winch on it. It's a Bravex. Haven't had any problems with it. It was a cheap winch. I think it was 79 bucks or something like that. It's remote controlled. So here's the remote for it. It's in and out, pretty simple, cut and dry. And then to hook the winch to the side-by-side, I have a plug right there that I can plug into. And then up here in the dash, I have that hooked to a relay that turns that wire on and off, because that winch takes a lot of voltage. If it's really dragging hard, I think it takes up to like 40 or 50 amps to use that winch. Have this switch hooked, 200 amp relay, which goes in underneath the seat here, hooked to the battery. You can see here I got my 4-wheel drive option. I have a defrost. Here's my cheap defroster that I have, that I hooked up last year. I think it cost $15. It's just a 300 watt 12 volt heater, and then I had just built a little box with a thingy-mabopper on it. It doesn't throw any extra heat into the cab, but it does produce enough heat to keep the windshield clear. Now back to our switches. We have our defrost, we have our regular headlights, and the gators. If any of you guys have gators, you'll know what I mean by whenever I say the headlights on a gator sucks. So I put my Sasquatch lights on it, and that's just an LED light, and then this here's for the rear accessory plug here, and then that's what turns my winch on for my. Now the option that I have set up on now is I have it hooked onto a trolley. This trolley slides, hooks onto the back of that bale, and it pulls it forward and drops the flakes right there. And just pull this here back, and then we'll flip it off to the sides, and then we'll set the bale up on there. usually load my hay when it's up when the trailer's up in the barn. Just did it out here for demonstration purposes because my camera doesn't do good in low light. See there, that just hooks in behind. Does a pretty good job. I have that come on an old corn planter that I had it used for, I don't know for sure what the purpose of it was, but it was the trailer behind the rows. I don't know if it was to help close the rows in or what it was. It didn't make much sense to have it on that corn planter. Now we'll move this bale ahead so it's just touching those. Okay, we're good there. Take our strings off so we don't need to mess with it when we get in the field. Hay there's teff hay. It's a warm season annual. We've grown a lot of it here on the farm. The producer that I buy my hay off of, he used it for a nurse or a mother crop one year, and he didn't want to get his other producers hooked on the teff hay because it makes some dang nice horse hay if you can get it dried down. I took the opportunity and I bought all the teff hay he had. But we've been raising teff grass here on the farm for, oh, I don't know, 10-12 years. It makes a wonderful horse hay. It's just an annual though. It's a warm season annual, and it's great if you're interseeding into a pasture field. Kind of thinning out and you need like an emergency crop. It works great for that. One thing I did want to point out when I did build this, and unlike my windbreaks, I got my fence jumper on. And I can just jump right over the fences whenever I'm feeding hay in the pasture field. I don't have to stop putting no fences down. That's about all there is to it. It works pretty good. The frame construction's probably built a little too heavy. As you're figuring out now by watching my videos, I use what I have, and this is what I had for steel, so that's what I used. If you're buying steel, you could probably get away with 3-inch channels for your channel iron here. And the axle that I used is an axle a buddy gave me off a trailer. I think it's something that a lot of people could benefit from. You can see we got the bale scattered out. It goes out and around. There's a chunk over there and behind a help for us here on the farm, and sure aids in nutrient cycling by getting our fertilizer out on the field where it needs to be. Thanks for watching the video. If you didn't hit that subscribe button yet and the notification bell, please do so. Thank our subscribers. We've been with us for a while, and I'd like to welcome any new subscribers we have aboard. So long. We'll talk to you next week.